So I just saw the Lego Movie 2, and I gotta say, everything really isn't awesome. This movie is unbelievably messy, and it's kind of shocking how bad it is. That is, until you realize that it has the same director as Alvin and the Chipmunks Shipwrecked, Shrek Forever After, and Sky High. Then it all makes sense. The shift in directing is incredibly obvious throughout the movie, and I don't even love the first movie. It's very similar to The Ring in that I like both movies, but people consider them to be great, where I think they're both just good movies. Both are 7 out of 10s to me. And like The Ring, the sequel to the Lego Movie sucks. What makes things even more confusing is that Lord and Miller were still involved in making this movie. They played a large part in the writing process, and I don't understand where their creative flair went. I guess they just used it all up on Into the Spider-Verse. That, or they knew this film was a shameless cash grab that wasn't worth their time, so they half-assed it. This movie's story is quite honestly boring as hell. I did not care about anything that was going on, and it all seemed fairly uninteresting. All of the characters are fairly one-note, and nobody gets their time to shine. The old characters were fine, the new ones were a mixed bag. Queen Whatever Wannabe was quite honestly a great addition, and easily the best part of the whole movie. I'm glad to see Tiffany Haddish branching out into bigger movies like this, and she did a fantastic job. General Mayhem was completely uninteresting, and Rex Dangerfest was just annoying. He was just an excuse to make as many Chris Pratt jokes as humanly possible. Something which could have been funny if they didn't play it so goddamn safe. Every Chris Pratt joke is a Guardians of the Galaxy joke or a Jurassic World joke. The film plays it all way too safe, and it's clear they aren't actually going for anything remotely funny. The film relies way too heavily on reference humor, and the only time it references movies that kids might not have seen, it explains the references. There's a scene where Rex Dangerfest explains what The Matrix is to EmMeT. The humor in this movie was honestly painful to sit through. The voice acting was fine, I guess. Chris Pratt's dual roles made his performance much weaker, but he's done worse. Tiffany Haddish gave the only noteworthy performance of the whole film. Everyone was just kinda passable. The directing was lazy and a definite step down from Lord and Miller. The first Lego movie was actually well shot and visually appealing. This movie looks pretty bland for the most part, with very lazy shot compositions and framing choices. The animation was great for the most part, but even that didn't feel consistent. There were some moments in the film where the animation felt distracting. I even remember one moment that just looked kinda bad. The music was pretty bad overall. What the hell was up with the obnoxious credits music?
Both incredible names, so let's stay in our seats and read a credible list of their incredible feats.
There's a song called the Catchy Song that Chris Pratt has claimed will top Everything Is Awesome.
This is a song that will get stuck inside your head.
It's stuck inside my head!
That's how you up Everything Is Awesome, that song.
I don't even like Everything Is Awesome all that much, but it at least served a thematic purpose in the first movie that made me at least respect the song. It felt like it had a reason for being there. It made tonal sense and worked in the context of the movie. The catchy song exists purely to get stuck in your head, and it isn't even catchy. I forgot it existed until I saw an ad for it on YouTube. The first movie used music for themes and it had a purpose, but this movie uses music to appeal to little children. Again, not surprising considering the director. Also, you'd think they'd advertise one of the good songs from the movie. Gotham City Guys is a fun comedy song. Not Evil is legitimately a great song. Nah, let's go with a song we slapped T-Pain on that's nothing short of boring. That's a great idea. The editing was fairly annoying. The pacing is absolutely abysmal and the film feels way too long. Tonally, the film is kind of a mess, and there's one scene that is especially bad for this, but some might consider it a spoiler, so I'm going to enter spoiler talk now. If you desperately want to see this movie for whatever reason, then skip the time code on the screen now. 3, 2, 1, go. So early on in the movie, we see EmMeT has built a house for him and Lucy to stay in, and Lucy's all like, EmMeT, this is going to attract attackers. Oof, you need to be an edgelord like me, BB. So obviously this attracts attackers, and in the chase scene that follows, the house gets destroyed. We can very clearly see that EmMeT is tearing up and very upset about this, but then another explosion happens and he's smiling A-okay again. What the hell was that? Also, while we're in spoiler talk, this movie's ending is really dumb. So if you've seen the first movie, you'll know that the adventures in these movies are made up by the kids playing with the Legos, and this is the reason I let plot holes in these movies slide. It's a story made up by children. It's not gonna make any sense. But at the end of this movie, it is revealed that Rex Dangerous was the bad guy all along. It's kind of predictable, but let's go with it. He reveals he's EmMeT from the future and he got stuck under the dryer and nobody helped him, so he became an evil edgelord and traveled back in time to save the EmMeT the story follows from crashing into a meteor. But this is all happening while the kids are being told off by Maya Rudolph. The entire scene implies that Rex Dangerous is sentient and actually time-traveled. We even get a shot showing one of the kids just finding Rex's spaceship randomly. So the Legos are sentient now? Because EmMeT is also implied to be sentient during this. He is then shot underneath the dryer and the film shows us he can feel a spider going across him. So is he sentient? The film then implies all the Legos are sentient. They start singing while in a storage box and the film shows one of the kids hearing the song and opening the box as they stop. What the hell is going on? This universe has set rules that it has mostly followed and it is now abandoning them. Great. Rex and EmMeT have a fight underneath the dryer because they're both sentient Legos and the film no longer makes sense. Then Wild Style shows up. If she's sentient, how did she know where they were? If she's not sentient, how did the kids know where they were? Are the kids actually imagining this as well? Did you imagine being yelled at by your mom? Anyways, because Wildstyle came to help out EmMeT, Rex no longer exists because he was never helped and he fades out of existence. Wouldn't you have stopped existing once you saved EmMeT from the meteor then? Why is this movie like this? It's one thing to make no sense, but it's another thing entirely to just ignore the very rules you've set up. I'm aware a lot of people are going to say it's just a kids film, and while that is a garbage argument, they're right, this is just a kids film. But the first LEGO Movie is a film you can enjoy at any age. It has a target audience, but it's accessible to anybody. It's a good movie. This movie is made for kids and nobody else. I doubt you'll enjoy this if you're above the age of 9. Although that's what you can expect from a movie from the guy who made an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. Apparently this movie is underperforming at the box office and people are really annoyed about that, but based on the actual quality of the movie, I'm honestly okay with this. Every now and then, audiences collectively put their foot down and say, we don't want this. A Wrinkle in Time did not make back its budget. Skyscraper underperformed at the box office. And it seems like the same is happening here. If we show distributors we want better movies, maybe they will make better movies. Overall, this movie just isn't fun to watch. It's a boring, run-of-the-mill, crappy kids movie that I just can't recommend in good conscience. I've seen worse movies this year, but this is still pretty bad. And I'm giving the LEGO Movie 2 a 3 out of 10. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Like, share, subscribe, I'm bad at outros, and I'll see you in whatever I do next.